Hey, everybody. Welcome back again to a little Austin Sports Weekend. It's time to talk sports with Austin, the man here himself. We got a lot going on this week. We had the draft, had a lot of news around UT, got a lot of breaking sports. The man's got the pad out again, so we got some breaking news coming here later.
All right, I'm
too.
ready to deliver the criticism, and I'm ready to deliver the praise for those who did well.
Hey, here we go. Before we get started, thanks again for SevereTV.com for setting us up here in the cool studios. Thanks again for Autographs Plus for sponsoring us. They got a couple stores, one in Sevierville, one in Pigeon Forge. Be sure to check them out. But first thing, let's talk about the draft first.
All right, to really begin this, the Falcons.
The draft, honestly, was sort of boring this year.
Not as many trades.
No, there was the thing that was weird. There was 6 quarterbacks taken
within the first 13
within the
picks,
first, which is the most ever.
which is
that's-
how
that's
desperate
ever-
some teams are to find that young.
And honestly, probably out of those 6, we'll be lucky if there's 1 to 2 good ones. That's normally about what the average goes. So
he is not very high on this draft class.
I'm really not very high on this draft class of quarterbacks. I don't have a lot of hope for any of them, to be honest. But we have been wrong in the past, so at least
you were wrong about Stroud. I know.
I was wrong about Stroud. He got a very low Wonderlic test, which normally knocks you down a little bit. But he landed on a good team, a good spot, and he's better than we thought. This year, I'm sort of down on.
Plus, thumbs up for speaking on Christ endlessly like he does in press conferences.
Yeah, amen to that. Need some good people to stand up and say what they think. But the only thing I really want to do too much. Well, we can't talk about the Falcons. The Falcons.
They had a
Blew me out
very
of the water. That was one of the stupidest things I think I've ever seen a team do.
Okay, hold on. You got
in the draft
4 years, $180 million already on the books for a quarterback.
Who'd you just sign?
Kirk Cousins.
You just signed Kirk Cousins.
To
You
a 4
stole
year.
him from the Vikings.
And then you draft a
4-year,
quarterback.
180. How much guaranteed money? $100 million guaranteed. So you just signed a guy to $100 million guaranteed.
And you still draft a quarterback.
And you draft a quarterback at the number 6 spot instead of
that
someone
makes
to help
no
him.
logical sense.
They need defense help bad. They could have had the top defensive end in the draft on their team.
That just drives me crazy. Some of these GMs thinking that they can do better than what other people. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense.
So now you've got Michael Penix Jr.
Sitting on the bench
for
for
3 to 4
4
years.
What is the point? He's
Either you may tell you, some people say, no, it's a good one. You know, you've got your quarterback in the pocket. Let me tell you what's going to happen. And I might be wrong, but I think there's a 10% chance of me being wrong. This is 90% chance of going to happen. Kirk Cousins is going to go in there, and it's a new system, new everything, new offense, new coordinators, new coach, new city. Everything's new for Kirk Cousins. He's going to start out the year, either the first year or the second year, and he's going to start out 3-4, or 4-4, or 3-5,
and then they throw the rookie out
or
there.
4-3. And how patient are we fans when there's a number 6 draft pick sitting behind a struggling veteran quarterback? How patient are we?
Very, very not patient.
The
As
fans,
fans.
the fans are going to go, give us the new quarterback.
Give us
We
Penix.
want Penix. We want Penix. And you know what's going to happen? The Falcons are going to put Penix out there, and they're going to throw away $100 million
That's just
on 1 year of Kirk Cousins.
So you're saying that's your prediction for the Falcons this year?
That is the prediction. That is my prediction for the Falcons, at least within the first 2 years. It might happen this year. It will definitely happen within the first couple of years. And then Kirk Cousins will be traded, and then the Falcons, a.k.a. Broncos, are going to end up paying the rest of Cousins' contract while he plays for somebody else.
I just don't. It just makes no sense when
I
you
have
put it
no-
into any context at
That's
any
what's going
point.
to happen. The think about it, the best thing that could happen is your number 6 pick sits on the bench for 4 years.
That
That's
doesn't-
the best thing that could come out of this. You have a top 10 pick and you sit him on the bench for 4 years. That's the best thing that can happen.
What
I
a
don't know.
dumb front office.
I don't know that.
That's a dumb front office.
Everything else in the draft was sort of
Pretty chalk.
pretty chalk. Okay, this one took this. Okay, that's what they needed. This one took. Oh, okay, that's what
One
they
player in the draft that I think is a surefire Pro Bowl level wide receiver is Marvin Harrison Jr.
needed. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be fantastic.
And the Cardinals might have picked the best player in this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they really need it because
Desperately.
they struggled and they let all of their good wide receivers go, except for maybe one.
At least they got somebody to throw for Murray to throw
Yeah.
the ball to now.
Now the thing is, though, they're putting all in on Murray. I mean, they benched Murray last year,
No, well, he was injured for a good portion of the year.
but they wasn't in a hurry to bring him back, though.
Yep.
but that might have been to tank so they could pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know, but we'll see. But that was probably Marvin Harrison Jr. is the person I'm excited about the most as far as wide receivers go. I'm not really excited about any of the quarterbacks too much, to be honest. A lot of them are going to be on the bench, or I have honestly very little faith in Caleb Williams, so we'll just have to see how that goes. I could be
That's
compl-
a whole-
I could,
that's
I could be completely wrong on him.
That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is in
Yeah.
his own right.
But just real quick, I do want to cover the Vols in the draft because I love Tennessee Vols more than I
We had
love
to,
anything
they had to
else.
wait until the third day of the draft.
But our buddy Jalen Wright went to the Dolphins. I honestly thought that Kamal Hadden or Jalen Wright would probably go in the 3rd round, but it turned out it was the 5th round before either two of these. So I think both of those were steals.
I've heard,
I think those two teams got third round picks for 5th round value.
I've heard a little snippet
Mm-hmm.
of some NFL executives don't really like Josh Heupel's offense that as much as others do because of the lack of reads and the lack of the scan across the field kind of thing. But that's their excuse. I think.
That's their excuse. If a offense wins, then maybe somebody in the NFL should do it. I mean, rather than being 4-13 and picking the 2nd pick in the draft, why don't you use Heupel's offense? But hey, that's just me barking. But we did have Jalen Wright, our buddy there, went to the Dolphins. I think that's a great place for him. The Dolphins love what? Speed.
Yes.
They love speed. And Jalen Wright is a speed monster. So I think he's going to fit in. And their starting running back, how old is he?
Around his 30s.
32.
Yeah, you know how this league treats those old running backs.
Yeah. So I think Jalen Wright's got a chance to go in there and produce quick and produce a lot.
Now
I think we'll see him play.
Here's the next one. Joe Milton is the Drake May's backup in New England.
Yeah, New England. Now, Drake Mays, honestly, I'm putting Drake Mays down a little bit. Drake Mays is pretty good. If I've got any hope out of the top 6, it might be Drake Mays.
And Joe Milton is
went.
officially
Yeah.
at least a 2nd or 3rd stringer in New
Yeah.
England right
Yeah,
now.
Joe Milton went to New England. Our buddy up there, the head coach,
Gerard Mayo, former volunteer.
John Mayo, former linebacker for them forever, and former volunteer, is the head coach up there. So he's got Joe Milton, and Joe Milton is a project. He can go up there and he can sit and he can learn. They might bring him in on some option stuff to where he could throw 85 yards down the field. He might get a little bit of playing time, but he should be behind Drake Mays because they did draft Drake Mays to be
their starter.
Our 3rd one to go is
Kamal Hadden
Kamal
to
Hadden.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fantastic. Again, he couldn't have probably landed in a better spot.
They just got lost to L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans, so
and they were looking to draft one cornerback, and that's all they did. They drafted him.
and they did draft a 4.2 speedy Xavier Worthy, of course,
Yeah.
to give Patrick Mahomes another
100-mile-an-hour weapon, like Patrick Mahomes needs another weapon. But Kamal Hadden went to a great spot. Should get he's a very good talent. He should get some playing time really early there too. I think so. I think Jalen Wright and Kamal Hadden were just landed just perfect. And for the first time in a long time, Tennessee has had back-to-back drafts with a quarterback.
Interesting.
It's been a long time. You wanna know another interesting? Guess which SEC team has had the most quarterbacks drafted? Tennessee.
That's a very odd statistic that you got in your.
They have had 15 drafted over the course of their career, and the LSU's had 15. So us and LSU are actually tied with the most quarterbacks drafted in the history of the SEC, and Tennessee is actually tied 5th nationally for most quarterbacks drafted in the history of the NFL.
Well,
how about them apples? And now we got Heupel spitting out quarterbacks. We are a quarterback factory now, so we're going to we're going to spit out an NFL quarterback every 3 years now.
You realize it's going to take a while for that to continue.
I said every 3 years, we're going to spit out an NFL quarterback. Mark my word. 3 years from now, Nico's going to be in the NFL. 3 years from now, one of the others, McIntyre is just going to be a freshman. McIntyre might come out after that, but we've got 2 guys behind Milton right now that are 4- and 5-star quarterbacks. So it's insane the amount of good quarterbacks that we have. Now, we need to work on the defense now, man.
And the defense has held them back from their true potential, I think.
Just really quickly, though, after the draft, we did have the Titans picked up Jabari Small and Gabe Judy Lawley. The Seahawks picked up Beasley and Williams. Your Panthers picked up Jeremiah Crawford. The Rams picked up Jalen McCullough. The Patriots picked up Jacob Warren. I like Jacob Warren. I think he's going to end up doing some damage up our great guy. Keaton went to the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders.
And Castles went to the Eagles. I think Castles could get some playing time there too. So that was really cool. That's the other Vols and where they went as far as the teams go. So that was pretty cool. Talking about some other stuff.
Candace Parker announced her retirement this week.
Yes, Candace Parker announced her retirement, and she's my favorite lady ball ever. I mean, she's my favorite women's basketball player ever. I honestly forgot how good she was. Listen to this stat. This was 2008 when she graduated from the University of Tennessee and then went into the NBA because she played in Tennessee and the NBA the same year. In 2008, Candace Parker was National Player of the Year. She got the Wooden Award and the Naismith Award for National Player of the Year for UT. She was in the NCAA tournament most outstanding player. She was the NCAA tournament champion. They won the championship that year. She was a academic All-American of the year. She went #1 in the WNBA draft that year. She was the WNBA Rookie of the Year that year. She won the WNBA MVP that year. And she would also played on the USA basketball team and won a gold medal. That's all in 2008. Every bit of that in 1 year. You really forgot how good she was until you go back and go, wow, she really that good. She is fantastic. Fantastic. So kudos to Candace. We love her. She's definitely our favorite. Just a couple of other little breaking news. Talking about the Chiefs, I forgot. Did you see that Trey Smith and Patrick Mahomes was on the wrestling? That was funny. Trey Smith was his bodyguard as Mahomes was on the wrestling.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
That was fun. Just like we were talking, Tennessee was wanting to get Igor Milicic, and they did. They picked him up. He committed to Tennessee this week. The one they're after now is Chaz Lanier. He is 51% field goal and 44% from the 3-point line. So he is the guard that we're really, really, really trying to get now. And I'm going to predict he's going to commit this week. By the time our show comes next week, hopefully he will be a Tennessee Vol. We already picked up Acapara and Darlington. So Tennessee's picked up some good people. I think they're probably going to still try to get one more person other than Lanier, though. And since we just got out of the draft, too, guess who's picked to be the number one pick? Guess who's predicted to be the number one pick in next year's draft?
Pierce.
James Pierce from Tennessee.
That's very interesting little development.
Ain't that weird? Tennessee's defense, which I'm saying they need to pick up a little bit more, is predicted to have the number one. Right now, he's predicted to be Josh. They asked Josh Heupel about it today. Josh said, "That sounds really, really interesting. I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him, but we expect him to improve even more this year." So if he does improve, which is what they're saying, I think he's definitely a top 5 pick. So we might have another top 5
I have
pick
some
from
extra
Tennessee.
news to add on to this.
Go right ahead.
Jonas Adu and Tobe Awaka have officially left the program and announced their destinations.
We knew that Adu was definitely gone. I'm surprised he went to Kentucky. Arkansas. He went to Calipari. Let's just put it that way. Players don't go to teams anymore; they go to coaches. So Adu went to Calipari.
And the Hogs.
And the Hogs.
Another Hog that also newly has been minted, John Nell Davis, the former Florida Atlantic Star guard.
Yeah, they are picking up. Honestly, Calipari is picking up some good transfers, but he always picks up good transfers. Honestly, I do predict that Arkansas will be really, really good this year because he has to look good this year. All the eggs are in the basket this year. If he goes to Arkansas and he doesn't even make the tournament there, then there will be clouds of gloom and doom over him in Arkansas. So I do predict them to be pretty good this year because they have to be.
And
Awaka went to
Arizona.
Yeah, there was a chance Awaka was going to come back, but then Tennessee picked up those two pickups, Darlington and Okapara, and I think that sort of cemented that he was going to be gone. He's went to Arizona. Hey, both of them didn't want to stay at Tennessee. Want to go? Then more power to them. It's their decision to make,
and they want starter minutes.
They want more starter minutes. And honestly, I really liked Awaka. I think he would have played a really big part in the offense this year, especially with Adu leaving. Adu, I don't see he was good at times. He showed flashes of being good, but I'm thinking that we probably upgraded with him, to be honest. With the new people we've got coming in, I think it was an upgrade for what we had coming from him. Vol Jordan Beck got called up to the Rockies this week, and in his first game went 2 for 4. So congrats to Jordan Beck. We always want him to do good. We want all of the Vols to do good. And just really quick, we'll finish up on the Vol stuff. Right now, Tennessee has 8 programs ranked in the top 10 in the nation. Baseball's number 3, softball's number 3, men's golf's number 7.
For those who think that he's gloating a little bit,
I am. No, there's always saying, well, it's just, here we go. Baseball's number 3, softball's number 3, men's golf's number 7, men's tennis is number 8, women's track and field's number 10, men's track and field's number 11, rowing's number 15, women's tennis is number 17. So we have 8 teams in the top 20 there going into this week. So Tennessee is turning into an everything school. When I was growing up, Tennessee was an everything school. And through the 90s, Tennessee was an everything school. You didn't get to see much of it. You got to see the last 5 or 6 years of Tennessee being pretty good, and then you got 15 years of downfall. So I'm happy for this generation to see what Tennessee really is and what we could really be. and the future is just looking fantastic. Oh, all right, spit us out some facts there. Give us some news, man.
All right, the news bulletin is now on go.
What you got?
We've
for us?
got some really bad umpiring to start the year so far. It's been such a topic.
Yeah.
Though through the first month of April, it's been so absolutely just horrendous. Let's just say horrendous.
I'm an old school baseball player. I did not like the shift. I do not like a lot of the things that they're doing. But you don't know what. But do you want to know what I'm for?
Robot umpires.
Robot strike zones. I want a strike zone called by a computer. I still want the ump back there. You need a live person to call box or safe out, stuff like that. Catcher interference. You need a live person to call all of those things, but we need a computer generated strike zone
Because if we have
because
to,
they are so horrible at calling strikes. They're terrible.
But if I have to deal with more Angel Hernandez, then I could probably just hit my head on the wall so many
If
times.
Angel Hernandez was working in any other field, he would have been fired every year from his job. He is the worst umpire, maybe in the history of sports.
Angel Hernandez is one of the worst when it comes to just calling balls and strikes. Some of those misses are just so
He can't call
bad.
first base either.
He can't even call third
He
base.
had three calls at first base overturned in one game one time last year.
In the playoffs.
He needs to be out. All right, what else you got going there for us?
We're staying with a little baseball here because Mike Trout, despite having such a positive start, had a torn meniscus.
Yeah, he's it looks like he's needing knee surgery. Mike Trout is. I really love Mike Trout. See, I'm a big Yankee fan. Go ahead and throw rocks at me. I'm a big Yankee fan, which means I'm a big Mickey Mantle fan. I really love Mickey Mantle. I love the stats he had, his aura. Everything about Mickey Mantle was just baseball, And Mike Trout has the same aura. He's a super, super guy. How many bad things have you ever heard about him?
None.
I've never heard anything. He's consistently one of the best hitters, one of the best power hitters, one of the best outfielders. He is fantastic, and
But
the Angels have killed him.
The Angels have they've killed the man. What the
They've
heck
killed the man.
else can he do?
They got rid of Ohtani, and I don't know. They tried to get more people in to help him. And you want to know what their record is right now? As of right now today, they are 11-20 and fourth in their division. That's the Angels every year. They've got what I still consider Mike Trout the best player in baseball. Somebody will say Ohtani. Let's see how consistent he is for as long as Mike Trout was. I think Mike Trout's the best one. So they got the best player in baseball. They had Ohtani too last year. They had the best two last year. And they made the playoffs how many times?
0. That's criminal. That is absolutely criminal.
That's
malpractice.
Trout went to one playoff series before Ohtani got there. And what happened?
He got swept.
So the Angels have won 0 playoff games while Trout has been there. I'm not an Angels fan. I'm a Yankees fan. The Yankees struggle a little bit sometimes. when
it's
they play
a
Angels,
criminal.
but I loved Mike Trout, and it's really criminal what they've done to
Their
him.
ownership is always considered. Artie Moreno is always considered one of the biggest clowns in the history of baseball because the win-loss percentage is not pretty with him in the ownership group. There was teasings of him selling the franchise last year.
Everybody was like, yeah, and then he decided not to.
And then he's gone back to the same old shtick.
Yeah. What else you got going there for us?
White Sox and Rockies are struggling to be a team right now.
Yeah, Colorado 7-24. The White Sox are 6-25.
They're struggling to function as
They are.
franchises.
The Braves look fantastic again. They're 11 games over. The Dodgers are struggling a little bit. They picked up Ohtani, spent $1.3 billion
dollars.
and
They better win.
and they're 20-13. And at one time they were 13-12.
They need to win.
They need to win.
They need to win.
Yeah, the Braves are looking pretty good. Seattle's in first place over Texas. Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians, as a good positive team that
Yes.
struggles a little bit, they're doing good. They're 20-10, and Baltimore and New York's doing good. Baltimore's 20-11, a nice young team.
They're one of the
See how they
youngest
go
in
through the whole year.
baseball.
Yeah. So baseball's starting up pretty good. What else you got for us?
Switching the topic to hoops for a
Hoops.
moment.
Yeah.
Hunter Dickinson returns to Kansas to finish his eligibility.
Which is good for Kansas. He probably just didn't get a good review back on where he would go in the draft, so he decided to come back. But that's good for him. I think you spend as much time having fun as you can, because when you get to the NBA, it's business. It's business in college now, I guess. But what else you got there for us? You want to really quickly go run over the NBA playoffs. The Thunder won against the Pelicans, so they're about to go.
4-0. So yeah.
The Mavericks are over the Clips 3-2. I expect the Mavericks to win that, so we'll probably have Thunder Mavericks. We got the Timberwolves beating the Suns and the Nuggets beating the Lakers.
The Suns got
4-1.
their heads kicked in by the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and so did the Lakers get their heads kicked in by the
let
Nuggets.
me-
My Jamal Murray. What you got? One more there?
To add on to the Lakers, what
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah.
the ongoing failure of one LeBron James is becoming probably too much for any of these media individuals to bear. Let me go off a little
Go
bit
off
here.
just a hair there. Go ahead.
LeBron James has never, he never criticizes anybody for any of his team's failures. He never takes accountability.
Yeah.
He never improves his team. He keeps whining about the referees, and he gets favoritism from these media individuals
Yeah.
that happen to just call him the GOAT. The only GOAT that he is right now is the goat that chews on the grass down in the farmland.
Yeah, he is. He is nowhere near the GOAT for me. To me, the greatest player of all time raises up everybody around him and makes them better. Whether Jordan was like a taskmaster, but everybody was better, and even people now were saying, like he was a jerk sometimes, but he was a jerk because he wanted us to win. So you either the greatest player of all time for me raises the team up and brings people up to their level, just like a good boss in a job. You don't put people down, you lift people up. That's how you run a good business too. So
Plus 4 and 6 in the finals. His fan base doesn't want to hear it, but it sticks with you.
and one of them's a bubble.
One of them is
So it's 3.5.
so there is no way that he
No.
could be viewed as the GOAT of basketball. That's the last thing he should be viewed as.
Yeah,
He should be viewed as the guy
Don't
who
even-
consistently.
don't even have enough maturity to do an interview after a loss.
Game 5 loss to lose a series
and sit
versus
there.
a team that's
And-
dominating
and honestly,
you.
his personality spilled over to Davis, and Davis is just the same crybaby that he was. But hey, let's not get into too much of that. Over in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics beat the Heats. We figured out would go. The Cavs Magic is at 3-2 right now. Cleveland leads that. I think that's going to go down to Game 7. That's a toss up there. The Pacers are up 3-2 over the Bucks because Giannis has been injured. The Bucks should have won it if Giannis would have been going, but he's not. So the Pacers are up 3-2, and they might take Game 6 and take the fourth one. We got the Knicks 76ers. The Knicks were up 3-1, but Porzingis got injured, and they've lost a game since then. And honestly, they're playing in Philly tonight, and they might lose that one. I'm worried about the Knicks.
You're worried about the Knicks?
I'm worried about the Knicks. I was really hoping we could get down to a Celtics-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals, because that would be fantastic for us old school guys. But we don't know. What you got to close us out on? Got anything else there?
Deion Sanders' culture is being ripped apart on social media for some of the things that's happened.
Yeah, I don't know if everything. I don't know if everything what's going on out there. But there's been a lot of negativity coming out from players that maybe he wants to transfer or something. I don't really know. I don't really know too much about that one. Pray everything is right that they're throwing out there. So you can never trust the media. What else you got for us?
That should be
Is that just about it for the week?
just about it for the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just about it for the week. We hope you had a little fun with us talking sports here. Next week when we come back, we'll have the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference and the NBA. Should be getting exciting into the second round now. And there's always breaking news. Breaking news is fun every week. So we hope you had a little fun with us. So we'll talk some more sports next week. Be sure and leave us a comment. Tell us if there's something
Spread
you want
the
us to talk
love.
about. Spread the love. Share us with your friends. Spread the love. Spread the love no matter what's going on. Tell somebody something positive today. How about that? And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.